everybody, and welcome to the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 122. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011. You can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011, usually every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join the chat, join in on the conversation. If you're a subscriber over there, we'd love to have you. If you can't catch live, that's A-OK. It drops the very next week over on YouTube and podcast services. Just search Enigma9011 or Wait What, and it's broken out topic by topic. We're going to put is one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us, and we would love you for it. So today, we're flying solo again. I'm a little off schedule to break the fourth wall here. But it worked out in my favor a little bit for topic one's discussion. For topic one today, I want to talk about the wrestling event this weekend, or at least one of them. That would be Blood Money 2022, aka Elimination Chamber, from Saudi Arabia for the WWE. Kind of want to talk about the event, what I thought of the matches, how it went down, and then talk a little bit about the aftermath, the post for, what the Wrestlemania season is kind of gearing towards, the big event, what matches we're going to see, stuff like that, and a little bit of the rumor mill. But yeah, I caught Elimination Chamber over the weekend. I did not watch it live. I kind of slowly watched it Saturday into Sunday, just bits and pieces here and there when I had a chance, had some free time. And I thought overall the event was okay. It wasn't the worst thing in the world compared to some past Saudi Arabia events where it seems like a lot has gone wrong. And trust me, there's a lot that definitely went wrong in this event, as we'll get to. But yeah, overall, not that bad match-wise and stuff like that. So let's get on into it. Pre-show, no, just kidding. I didn't watch the pre-show, but apparently Mysterio beat The Miz. Didn't even know that was the thing that was happening. So we kicked it off with Roman Reigns defending his title against Goldberg. Because, everybody loves seeing Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, as we'll talk about later, still being around. Okay match, 6 minutes. 1 second shy of 6 minutes. It was fine. Nothing out of the box here. We're gonna hit some spears. We're gonna not hit. Don't think a jackhammer was hit. Thank God, because yikes. Superman punch, spear, and in a submission. A little different, so that was nice. But yeah, nothing special here, nothing blowing your mind, nothing really out of the box here for a typical Goldberg match of finisher. So big surprise there, whoop-de-frickin-do, retain for Reigns, yay. That may be Goldberg's last match under his current contract, who knows at this point, but whatever, move past that. Then we get to the ladies' Elimination Chamber. Great match. We had Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Nikki ASH, and Rhea Ripley going at it for the chance at facing the Raw Women's Champion at WrestleMania. I thought the ladies did a fantastic job with this match. A lot of good spots. We followed up on some stories from before with ASH and Rhea Ripley that we did not really get a solidified finish to, or anything really out of Royal Rumble, which you might have heard me bitch about not too long ago. But yeah, I thought the ladies did well. One thing that I'm just going to note here, and this happened in both Elimination Chambers, and I don't know why it happened like this, and I thought it was really stupid. So normally with Elimination Chamber, obviously, 4 people in the pods, 2 are starting the match, and then the rest will come out eventually. And based on their entrances is the first 4 go in the corners. They're in the pods, and the last 2, unfortunately, are starting the match. For some odd reason, for both the women's and both the women's and the men, they had 3 people come out. First 3 were in pods. Then entrance 4 and 5 were starting the match, and entrance 6 was in the 4th pod. Why did they decide to do this? I don't know. It seemed really dumb. I don't know if it was because it was the big reveal for Bliss, for example, who's apparently cured, but is still this, like, evil, twisted sister character. Maybe she just doesn't do the hocus pocus shit anymore. Maybe that's the cure. Maybe the reveal was just because she had her swing in the pod with her. Okay. And then Brock came out in the last pod. Was it just because he's the big one and he had to stare down everybody? Stupid in my opinion. Didn't really add anything. It was just very confusing as to why they decided to do that. But anyways, so the ladies crushed it here. Like I said, we got the story continuation. I don't know if it's a finish with ASH and Rhea Ripley. Liv got a lot of time. They're trying to still build her up, which was great. Bliss looked really well for being away for however many months she's been out of action to hop right back into it. Same with Doudrop. Momentum still building for her. And then I think we had the we had the correct choice in winner for this with Bianca taking this match to follow up, potentially, her storyline with Becky down the line at WrestleMania. So, ladies did a good job. Nothing too crazy spot-wise, but solid match from them. Then we got another women's match. We had the tag team match, Naomi and Ronda Rousey against Charlotte and Sonya Deville. And Ronda had to have her arm tied behind her back because she broke Sonya's elbow or shoulder or something, which turned out to be a ruse. Fine. Nothing went wrong. Nothing spectacular. Nothing out of the box here. I'm sure you guys know my feelings about Ronda being there at this moment. Nothing special. Kind of spaced out for this one. Not gonna lie. Moving on. Then we get the surprise, wow, that was actually pretty good and scary moment of the night with Drew McIntyre against Madcap Moss in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And Happy Corbin was out there as well. Alright. These two, surprisingly, put on a really great match. Not surprising for Drew, but Madcap. Really good match. Guys did fantastic. I'm surprised it was only 9 minutes. It felt a little longer than that, not in a bad way. Solid match. Corbin obviously gets involved, tries to help out Madcap. Then we get the scary part. Madcap is going to take a nasty botch right on his dome. Alabama Slam, for some reason, thinks he needs to roll forward out of it instead of just land on his upper chest, put his arms out, curves himself, boom, right on the top of his head into the mat. Scary as shit. Everybody checks on him immediately. To his credit, somehow was okay and finished the match strong. I think Corbin was ready to hop in if he needed to do and carry the rest of the match while, obviously he was taken care of and was there for maybe the last and the ending part, but he got up, he was fine, he shook it off. Good for him. Hopefully he is healthy right now and good to go. I haven't heard any follow-up, but man, that was, oh boy, scary stuff there. But yeah, these guys put on a great match. Drew's going to go over there using the sword, not killing anybody, but and the Claymore kick to take the win. And then we're going to get, I'm going to say, maybe top match of the night with Becky Lynch defending her title against Lita. Once again, ladies crushed it. No surprise, Becky's really good. No surprise, Lita has been good. The surprise here is just obviously Lita hasn't been in the ring, in a while. And the appearances she has had have been in like Royal Rumbles where you can kind of be a little bit more lax, there's a lot going on. But it was fantastic. I thought these ladies did a really good job and they made it believable. I do have one tiny little thing, and that was the ending. So Lita gets this rally, hits the twist of fate, goes for the moonsault. I don't think she hit the moonsault. But anyways, close finish. Makes you like, oh, we built suspense. We made it believable. Great. That's what you're supposed to do. And then the flip around kind of was very quick, but it was quick in the fact of, like, obviously those, momentum build, oh, no, it's over kind of thing. Those happen all the time. But the impact of Becky's finish, I don't think it was the disarmer. I'm trying to remember, and that's bad that I can't remember. But whatever she hit to finish the match, let me see if this article has it. Okay. It was just her manhandle slam, the pump handle slam. Very not impactful at all. Like, just kind of happened, and the match was over. And once again, I know these things happen. It just didn't seem like a really solid hit, strike, slam, whatever that was like, oh, it's over. It just kind of came out of nowhere. But the ladies did a fantastic job. I don't know what Lita's plan is. Maybe this was obviously just her goodbye match, which, if so, good for her. But, like, honestly, if she wanted to stick around, I wouldn't be against it. Like, she did really, really well. If she wants to, stay and help some people or whatever, fuck it. I mean, we know this roster is, lady-wise, kind of lacking with all these releases over the past year or two. So, I don't know. It was just really, really good. I wasn't expecting much of this match, and that's not against the talent. It's just like, I don't know. Not that I thought it felt like a surefire thing. Like, duh, Becky's gonna retain. But, like, they did a really good job of making me care and giving me the little smidge of, like, wait a minute, which is good. That's what they're supposed to do. So I would say maybe that was the best match of the night. Then we get to the worst match of the night, which is shocking because we still have the Elimination Chamber to talk about. The worst match of the night. What the fuck was this? The Usos versus the Viking Raiders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Raiders come out, do their entrance. Oh, okay, we got some momentum here. People are cheering for them, whatever. And then the Usos come out and attack them. No weapons, nothing. Just come out there, jump them. No matches had. What the fuck? What planning was that? That was so stupid. Why even... I mean, I didn't know this match was happening in the first place, but why put any build towards it, any announcement towards it? Why have the entrances? Why not just attack them in the back? Why no weapons? They're fucking... The Viking Raiders are huge dudes. We've seen these guys go through worse. Oh, wait, we forget NXT. We don't... Fuck that. Wow, it just was so dumb. Waste of time. And then we get to the men's Elimination Chamber. Now, I know the end result is disgusting. The match was okay. Now, was it essentially send the lambs to slaughter? Yes. And looking at the time of the match, it did not feel that long. It's almost 15 minutes. The ladies, wow, this ladies surprisingly had a longer elimination match. Oh boy. So, it's Brock, Bobby, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, and Seth Rollins. There's not much to talk about here. The guys who participated did fine. They got to where they needed to, and then, like I said, the massacre happened. The big question mark here is Bobby going out. Bobby's cell gets broken into. I believe Theory gets thrown into it by Riddle or something like that. Cell breaks. He falls. They claim he hits his head on the metal support, concussion protocol, whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. Rumor mill post thing says like he's dealing with a shoulder injury, which I could see some credibility to because, as we saw in the Rumble, him and Brock going at it in their title match, some of those suplexes, I don't know wrestling, like I don't know how to wrestle, so don't take it from me like, oh, this is the proper technique, blah blah blah. But you watch enough of it, you kind of see how they land, after a while. And Bobby seemed to be turning himself off of one shoulder, kind of leaning after one kind of wonky one early on. So rumor mill is that he had a shoulder injury. They need to take him out. Seems like that is the case. I don't know if he went into the cage with the injury. But anyways, he's going to be out for 4 months. So, shit. Okay, Bobby in there, gets knocked out, gets taken out. So instantly, we see this, and it's the, oh, fuck, we're really going to do this moment. Like, the realization, or the stamp, the final seal, the final nail in the coffin, that's the fucking saying, of like, okay, well, this is a thing. So Brock breaks out of his cell, mistakenly first, not meaning to break it, but then actually just, like, he breaks it early. Then goes, just sweeps people under the rug. Let's see what the order was here. Seth goes, whoosh, Riddle goes, whoosh, AJ goes, whoosh. That's all in a minute and 10 seconds. Gone. I will say I appreciate theory. We're building theory. Good on you. Keep doing that. I appreciate he got his time. Obviously, yes, this man was killed by taking an F5 off one of the pods. But at least it wasn't another rapid fire. Brock's champion. Great. Swell. Fuck. So Brock's champion leaving this thing. Did Cody Rhodes show up at all? No. No appearances, no nothing. So that seems to be the big rumor mill right now. So when's Cody showing up? So let's talk post-Elimination Chamber. So we got Monday. We got Raw that happened. So we have now confirmed the continuation of the storyline for Bianca and Becky. 100% down with this. This makes perfect sense. This is redemption for Bianca for SummerSlam for that stupid 18-second match. Let these two have a great match. Let Bianca have her redemption. I don't care if it's 2 years in a row that she's winning at Mania. Let's fucking go. Great match here. Would I be pissed if Becky won? I wouldn't say pissed. I'd be a little bit let down. But I think this is the right path. I think that would be the perfect crescendo from Rumble. Becky comes... Or SummerSlam? SummerSlam, Becky comes in. We all get disgusted that result. 6 months later, however long later, Mania, Bianca goes over. You know, nice little bow on that storyline. That would be perfect. That makes sense. Good. Excited for that one. Now we have confirmed Brock and Roman. And it is also confirmed that it's title for title, winner take all. Fuck. Why are we doing this? Why? I don't know if the plan is to unify the belts or if it's just to make Roman look superior, which fucking Roman better win this. I swear to God, if Brock wins this, I don't know how much more angry I can get about this man winning things. Is it just to build Roman up that next pinnacle of his mountain of kinghood? Not even kinghood, tribal chief? Okay, I guess. But then where do you go from here? Like, once again, if you're unifying the belts, alright, who's tackling that? And then if you're not unifying the belts, then it's like, alright, so eventually he's going to lose twice, probably, in rapid succession. Not guaranteed rapid succession, but... So, just an odd choice. Now, was this an audible because Bobby is hurt to have Brock win? I don't know. Because why... Okay, it could be. Let's go behind the curtain. Let's pretend we understand what is actually going on that they don't tell us. Royal Rumble, we talked about. Roman comes out, interferes with the Brock and Bobby match. Bobby wins the title. We talked about the weird suplexes landing different. So post Royal Rumble, that night maybe. Bobby's feeling okay, adrenaline's still going, yada, yada, yada. Monday rolls around. Hey, boss, I don't feel great. This sucks. Or doctor results come in. Maybe that's why Brock comes out on Monday post Rumble and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in the Elimination Chamber," because they're like, "Fuck it, Code Red, let's go," and put him in there, and then we'll go for title. Now I can hear it already. People asking right now, watching, listening, etc. Okay, so why Brock? Why not have someone else go in there? Why not have a Big E go back into the title shot? Why not have a Kevin Owens go back in the title picture? Why not Kofi Kingston? I don't know. Why not have a legit men's Elimination Chamber? Because Brock's already got, his shot, guaranteed Royal Rumble match. And to that I say, good question. I don't know. Saudi Arabia blood money? They want Brock Lesnar? I don't fucking know. It's the whole thing's a big question mark of making sense. Yeah, hard to say. But to me, I don't know how these guys are keeping on the up and up. AJ Styles, congratulations to him, just signed a new big money deal apparently with WWE, so he's making his family happy, so I mean, good for him. But like, at what point does it really start weighing on these guys? Like, am I worth anything here? Especially with, once again, a minute and a half to get rid of these guys. Seth's obviously been at the top, loyal. Riddle, we've been building with Orton doing their thing for a while. Styles, obviously, a big commodity since 2016, joining the roster. 3 guys just out like that, of like higher up caliber. Like, when did they start feeling like, what the fuck? So, weird that we're doing that. So now, let's talk about the Cody stuff. Cody leaves AEW. Everybody and their mom is saying, oh, he's going to WWE. Okay. Would I be interested in that? Yes. If he's given, the freedom and the right push. Yes. However, this is WrestleMania season, right? It'd be the perfect time for him to come in, challenge a champion, do something big, right? Do something big for himself and, like, make this a moment and something that people care about. No Saudi Arabia, at least on televised pay-per-view, special live event, whatever the fuck they're calling them, premium. No Monday Night Raw after. So right now, no confirmation, no signing, no announcement, nothing. Still has yet to show up. Roman's tied up. Brock's tied up. Okay, there goes your main 2 titles. Edge has come out on Monday and has put out this open challenge. People are thinking that's for Rhodes. Could Edge and Cody Rhodes put on a great match? Absolutely. Do I think that's the case? No. Sometimes there's keywords that they plant in their little promos that just like make it so obvious, like, oh, that's the person you're going to put in that match. Phenomenal. He said phenomenal. It's going to be AJ Styles. Will that be a great match? Abso-fucking-lutely. So where does this leave Cody? Is Cody a Monday night after Mania to have people still care? I don't know. Mania is a pretty big paycheck, as far as I know. I think Cody would want part of that, unless he wants some time off, whatever. Or is Cody even coming at all? Like Veer. Is Cody even going to WWE? Once again, we have no confirmations. Is Cody taking time for himself? Is Cody doing something totally different? Is he going to New Japan? Is he going to Impact? Bold move. Is he attempting to revive a Ring of Honor? That would be very interesting. Cody has a lot of ties with ROH. Obviously, All In, the first one. Connections there. Obviously with other promotions as well, too. That could be something. Is that guaranteed what it is? I don't know. Nobody knows, except for him and whoever he's talking to. But I just don't know where he fits in at this moment in WWE and WrestleMania season especially with both titles tied up. If it was some kind of thing where Brock had to defend his title in a match, and then Roman and him went because of the Royal Rumble win, that leaves the spot open. Obviously, Brock would have to pull double duty, but that leaves a spot open there that he could go in. If Cody is meant to be post-Mania, Monday after, whatever, and Roman wins double title, if Cody's supposed to tackle him then, A, that could work. B, then comes in the question of like, okay, how does this look for your brand? Now, I know Cody's, will play ball. Obviously, he's worked with Sammy Guevara, and, that's worked. I assume Cody wants to win gold here to make this huge, right? Is that something WWE would want to do? Obviously, I would think so, because you're signing this talent, but then there's the kind of weird internet wrestling community thing of like, oh, an AEW guy came in and beat up a WWE guy and won AEW, ooh, if he wins the title, whether it's the unified or one of the two. So it puts him in a weird pickle here. But Cody, if he is signed, knowing his own worth, would have signed for to get something. It's not, the man's probably got hand over fist in money. Not that more money isn't nice. He doesn't want to just be Stardust again. Not that I think he's going to be given Stardust treatment. Hopefully. But, there has to be some kind of incentive for him to sign there, specifically. Because he knows, as a lot of us know, of WWE's restrictions and gimmick control, promo control, yada, yada, yada. Why would you leave the freedoms of an AEW or the potential free market of an independent to then go to something maybe you don't like if there isn't incentive for you to go there? That's my thinking. So, with the title picture, that makes the most sense. You're the face of the brand. You're the World Heavyweight Champion. Is him and Edge appealing enough for him to go jump ship? I really don't know. Is post-Mania? Potentially. I get that, because, everybody expects some surprises the night after Mania. It's this weird tradition that's kind of happened, even though NXT's dead now, so whatever. Kidding. But then if you go with him winning the title, it just, to me, thinking about, once again, the internet wrestling community and how toxic they can be from time to time, is that a move WWE wants to make? Not the bringing him in part, but the having him win. It just is, it's a weird thing to think about. And like I said earlier, everybody and their mom is like, oh, Cody's going to WWE. I don't know. I'd love to see it just because it's oh shit, news. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of the logical step. Now, you're like, well, Bret, this is a wrestling. Well, logic is, there is no logic in wrestling. True, but I want to try and make it that way. So it's it's an interesting thought. I don't know. I don't know. I think we got some other matches confirmed for Mania. Ronda and Charlotte, whatever. Logan Paul making his fucking return with The Miz against the Mysterios. Stupid as hell. Get this piece of trash out of there. There's rumors of Zayn and Knoxville going for the IC title. Oh, boy. No, don't do that, please. So some good, some really bad. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Elimination Chamber this past weekend and a little bit of post/future talk towards heading into WrestleMania. We still got about, a little over a month left as of recording for the event. So excited as always. It's Mania season. It's hard not to be. 2-night event. We'll have to see how this goes. But moving on to topic 2, taking a wide turn from scripted, pre-planned fighting to not pre-planned fighting. I want to talk about fighting games a little bit. Once again, this past weekend, Capcom had teased an announcement for a while with a time clock on their website, whatever, and the timer ran out this Sunday, I believe it was, and it was for Street Fighter 6. And a lot of people are excited. I'm looking forward to it and excited for the news. Happy a lot of people are, celebrating and looking forward to the game. So I kind of want to just talk about fighting games. I looked through the topics and I realized I haven't talked about fighting games in quite some time, and kind of just share, what I like in fighting games, what fighting games resonate with me. So speaking of Street Fighter, Street Fighter 6 looks interesting. It was a very short teaser of what they were doing. It was just Ryu and I believe, Luke was the other character. Really, really different art style, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to. And it's going to take some time obviously, for them to reveal more of this game. But yeah, I'm excited in a way. Street Fighter has been one of those games where I respect and like the characters in the game and the people who play it, like Dio and Danny, good friends of the show. They play a lot of Street Fighter 5 and 4 and more. But I've never been really great at Street Fighter. I played a little bit of 5 at launch. 4, I was very late to the game. So I don't know. I'm interested in 6, and I hope it does well, but I don't know if this is something I'll be jumping in at launch to give a try. I've been meaning to jump back into 5 for ages. When I was playing it at launch, it just was very limited, both in characters and in game modes. I'm not a big online fighter. Obviously, I know the appeal of it. It gets very competitive. But when you don't know what you're doing, it's not the best learning environment, I feel. I feel more of a couch co-op, not co-op, but couch atmosphere, like you just playing against your friends, especially if somebody is a similar skill set as you, and you can kind of build off of each other and kind of pick up like, oh, so-and-so does this, so-and-so does that. Shout out to Electric Wizrobe. He's a cousin, he's family. He's another guy who's like kind of into fighting games, but not like super competitive or whatever, but he's someone I can play and like we both benefit from it. Nobody's like demolishing the other person. It's a back and forth, and it's fun. It's fun when it's that back and forth. It's not fun when you get steamrolled all the time, or you don't even get to play because people are doing infinite combos and blah 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 blah, whatever. But DJ is someone who picks up things very quick, and I remember visiting him one summer, I believe it was, and brought over Dragon Ball FighterZ. He'd never played the game before, and he picked it up really, really quick, and we had just like competitive, it was back and forth matches, and it just made it so much fun compared to an online experience. You go on, obviously the internet lag is a whole thing, and like people either spam stuff or you don't get an opportunity to do anything. There's very limited time where you can learn something, I feel, and maybe this is just my experience, like I don't have the patience for that, but maybe because it's someone I know, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get too invested in it, it's just for fun. But TJ's great with Dragon Ball FighterZ. We had a similar experience with Mortal Kombat 10, just fantastic. So anyways, Street Fighter's never been anything I've been particularly great at. The fighting games I've gravitated more towards have been a little bit faster paced games. Marvel vs. Capcom, I think I've shared that story, that was one of my first, and like very fond memories of going to the arcade, playing with Dad, him humoring me, and playing the game with me and mashing the buttons. But Marvel vs. Capcom is great. Killer Instinct, I was very late to the game with. I played that a bunch on Xbox One. Those are great. And then I was also very late to the party with Mortal Kombat. And Mortal Kombat, I jumped in at 10. I was watching some content creators who were, really invested in the fighting game community and in that game coming out. And just, like, kind of feeling their energy from that game made me more excited, and having conversations with Dio about the game, I really got invested. And I think the thing that Mortal Kombat really latched on with me as well, or another aspect of it, was its story. It's not just you go in there and it's an arcade ladder of 10 matches and then, okay, you get this little tiny short character ending. This one had an actual story and dialogue and plot it was trying to tell, and that made it that much more fun. So 10 came out, played that, loved that. Then it went back to 9, which 9 was like an interesting kind of a reboot in a way, but it was a retelling of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. So it was kind of a nice way to play catch-up. Oh, this is how this character interacted with this character to deal with this character to turn to this character. This is when they show up, blah, blah, blah. So, fun little recap. Graphics not that great when you go back to it, but great way to catch up and kind of dive into the world head on. And then Mortal Kombat 11 came out, and so much excitement for that game. And it kind of delivered in ways. Its story mode, fantastic. Was very, very good, very cinematic, but like engaging. But unfortunately, there was a disconnect in its gameplay. It wasn't as fun as Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 10, for whatever reason. It was fun, but it wasn't something that like I stuck along and played for a while afterwards, compared to Mortal Kombat X, where I constantly was going back to this game, just doing like the tower modes and like, oh, how can I learn this character a little bit better? And I don't know if it was the character variation system or if it was the gear. I don't know. It was very minute changes, and I think I've talked about this also in a past podcast episode, so you can check that out where I remember things a little bit better and talk about that in detail. But yeah, so Mortal Kombat's been another one that I love, and I'm looking forward to more because I do want to see the continuation of that story and see where the characters go from there. And then, speaking of NetherRealm, the developers for Mortal Kombat, a game that took me by surprise for the fighting game genre was the Injustice series. Now, Injustice was essentially Warner Brothers, their superheroes, Superman, Batman, them fighting. It's a fighting game. Injustice 1 came out on PS3, Xbox 360 era. Was fine. It was a good time. Roster was great. The story was fantastic. And that is where, all the excitement came from. But then there was other game modes, some challenge modes, some stuff like that made it intriguing. But the story was the highest point. The rest was like, this is fine. And then Injustice 2 came out. And Injustice 2 was the first... I don't know if it was the first time. No, because I think MKX was the new engine. But it was like the next step off of what MKX had jumped from in graphics from a Mortal Kombat 9, from an Injustice 1. X looked so much better. And then you get Injustice 2 on top of that, which looks fucking insane. So it looks impressive to start. It's a continuation of this fantastic story in Injustice 2. Keeps it going. And this game was just so much fun. Their roster was unique enough and different enough from 1 that everybody felt fun to play. It didn't feel like, oh, it's just Green Lantern and Sinestro. They're both lanterns. Yes, they have different moves, but like they're very similar. It wasn't 8 Batmans, not really, but you know what I mean. Everybody felt different, and it was exciting to play those guys. And they had a tower mode, game mode, called, was it the Multiverse? I think it was. But it was essentially different worlds and different ladders that you could tackle for the gear, which I'll get into the gear later. And some would be just straight up like defeat 5 enemies. Some would have modifiers. And the modifiers were fun little mechanics of like different characters that would assist you, or maybe the level, there's like more hazards on it. And this game was just fun. And And it made it rewarding because of the gear system. You could customize your character's appearance, their helmet, their arms, their chest plate, their legs, and as a superhero game, makes complete sense. Obviously, with comic history, they have 800, outfits to them. And Injustice 2, chasing after these gear sets and customizing your character was fun. It was a lot of fun. They attempted to do this in Mortal Kombat 11, but it didn't feel personal enough. And what I mean by that is Mortal Kombat 11 with their gear, they would do like face masks, which cool. I can see that. I feel important with that. But then they were to have very small, minute details that you could change, like, a potion vial on their hip or a little satchel. And it's just like, I'm never going to see that on my character. That's dumb. And that was another reason 11 fell down the charts for me. But anyways, I digress. I'm kind of getting more into the critiquing than the games I really enjoy. So another one that's more recent, going back to the faster paced stuff of a Marvel vs. Capcom, where you have like the 3-man team and you can switch in and out, is Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ was essentially Marvel vs. Capcom, all very similar mechanics to the old games that we've been kind of clamoring for, because there hasn't been a Marvel vs. Capcom in quite some time, Infinite being the last one, which gameplay-wise, great, but production-wise, not so great. And Arc System Works gave us Dragon Ball FighterZ, which kind of filled that empty void in our heart. And the gameplay in that was just so fun and dynamic and like appealing with how things looked. It looked like the anime. It felt like the anime. The amount of like flashing going on, the speed of the game, the graphics of it really made it a blast to play. I will say, on the other side of the coin, story mode, not really that interesting to go through. But if you were just playing matches with your friend or online, man, that game was great. Another game I haven't put a lot of time into, but really do enjoy both its IP and its gameplay, is Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. It's another fast-paced fighter, 3-man teams, switching in and out, and it's just so much fun. Once again, another one where its motion really sells the game. And what I mean by that is the amount of freedom you have in your combinations to make these combos roll and roll and roll on. Now, me, personally, no, I can't do that. But watching people put these combos together and string them together and make something fantastic is really cool to see. And I think something that kind of held Power Rangers back early on, I don't know if it was a fan-funded game, but it was a very low-budget game, so their launch roster was very small, maybe 6 characters. Over time, the game's been out 2 or 3 years at this point. They've added DLC characters on, and it's really been cool to see who they've added. Different Rangers from different eras of the show. They've added villains. I believe Lord Zedd's in there. Goldar's in there. Scorpina from Zio's in there. It's just been fun and exciting. And as far as I know, this game is still doing very, very well. I hope they continue to pump characters out into that game. And with the tie into the comics, they have that freedom to it. Obviously, with the shows, too, there's a lot of Rangers that they have the potential to add. But that game's been a blast. But yeah, fighting games have it's been something that over the past, 5-6 years, I've really delved into heavily, quote unquote, more heavily into. And it's been a fun experience to tackle these games. Obviously play them for fun, but then try and learn the mechanics of the fighting game. Like, what motion do I need to do before hitting this button to do a special, to do a super, to do this type of thing? what are footsies, what are all these terminologies, and I still don't understand a lot of it. And like, you can look at competitive fighting games or watch those, and you're just like, I don't know how they're doing any of that. And like, when a combo gets rolling, just like, yep, that guy's screwed. It's interesting to see like how complex those games can be. I don't remember the saying 100%, but it's like easy to learn, hard to master. Like, that, fighting games are like exactly that. Anyone can pick it up, anybody can mash the buttons, have some enjoyment out of it, which obviously ultimately is the point. But like, if you really want to dive into it and pick every little piece apart or learn what everything does, you definitely can, if that's something you want to do. So yeah, I just love fighting games, and I want to get back into playing them more. I talked about Street Fighter V. I played it at launch, which was back in 2016. They've added so much more to that game. They added a full story. They've added a lot of roster depth with their characters. I'd love to jump back into that, but I don't know if it's like too late. Obviously, with 6 being announced, granted 6 will be is still a ways away. But jumping into that, like, I can't hop online with that game. I'm playing against people who've been playing it for years or have that experience. And like, can I play against my friends? Can I play against Dio and Danny? No, they've been playing this shit for years too. It's like, I don't know. So maybe, just for myself, play offline, which probably would be what I was doing anyway. But it's interesting to say. And same with Dragon Ball FighterZ. Like, they've added so many characters to that game. 8 of them are Gokus, which we didn't need more Gokus, but that's another game I'd like to get into. Power Rangers is another one, but it's going to be interesting to see where fighting games go down the line with Street Fighter 6 being announced. We don't know what NetherRealm is working on. Typically at this point they would have announced it and it'd be coming out soon. I assumed it was going to be an Injustice 3, which I'm definitely looking forward to with just the success of Injustice 2 and how much I personally love that game. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the route they're going or if they're just focusing on Mortal Kombat. Maybe Mortal Kombat 12 is next, which also I'd be excited for, because once again I want a continuation of that storyline. But 11's gameplay was kind of, I don't know what they're up to. And then there's rumors, or there were rumors, I don't know how much gravity is really behind it, but Arc System Works, the guys who made Dragon Ball FighterZ, there was talks of them making a My Hero Academia fighting game. If that were the case, and that was an actuality and a thing that was going to come out, just take my money now. I would absolutely love that. I love what they did with Dragon Ball FighterZ. It was fun. It was exciting gameplay. And I've really enjoyed the anime of My Hero and learning those characters. There's games already of My Hero, like My Hero's One Justice and One Justice 2, which are fun. It's like a 3D arena fighter. But they're very simplistic, and also it's a whole different mechanic system with the 3D fighters like Tekken. I'm not a big Tekken guy. I like it, I respect it, but I'm just ass at those games. Back in the day, Soul Calibur 2 was a big one that I played, and that was more my speed. Once again, not great at it. Just as a kid, I was enjoying it. But yeah, 3D fighters are just not something I want to pursue, or like not the realm I want to see it in or play those games. I don't know what I'm saying. But having the IP of My Hero in something like a Dragon Ball FighterZ with Arc System, that would be great and crazy. So I'd love to see that. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to gush about fighting games. The announcement, just once again, seeing everyone's excitement about Street Fighter 6 finally getting announced, and even some like older collections of games like Darkstalkers and Puzzle Fighter, like seeing the swell of excitement online and people's live reactions, it just was like, you know what, I'm happy for those people. Like, I know, once again, I'm not the most competitive into these games or playing online or playing all the time, but I do enjoy them, and I hope to play more of them, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is down the line. So yeah, just wanted to gush about fighting games a little bit. If you haven't played them, give them a try. Give them a try. Maybe don't go online. Don't do that. You just get frustrated and want to quit. And that's no fun. But play it for yourself. Play it for yourself. This has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, a.k.a. Enigma911, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You join the chat over there if you're a subscriber. We'd love to have you. But if you can't catch live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week where it's dropping topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. And we would love you for it. I appreciate you guys hanging out today with me, whether in video form or on the audio podcast. Thanks for hanging out so much, guys. Giving this a watch. Giving a listen. And we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.